I'm going to be a pilot. Best in the galaxy.
This episode of the Star Wars Battlefront podcast is brought to you by Rage Start, our new podcast network, dedicated to completely video game podcasts. Our three newest shows are Nintendo, PlayStation, and Xbox Update. Check those out in the description below.
Pick your class and
earn your battle points.
Because it's time for the Star Wars Battlefront podcast. Welcome to episode 139 of the Star Wars Battlefront podcast. I'm your host, Sage Goodwin, joined by my brother and co-host, Sam Goodwin.
Hello there.
In this episode, we'll be going over our predictions for EA Play, your thoughts on the newest Hotfix, and much more.
Let's get started.
Before we get started, I want to shout out our podcast network, Rage Start. So, the Star Wars Battlefront podcast is no longer part of Tad Issue Films because we're moving that towards like audio dramas and just real life stuff. And all video game stuff will be on our new podcast network, Rage Start. It is ragestart.com. There is a page you can go to ragestart.com/the-star-wars-battlefront-podcast. And you can go through the podcast that we have on there. You can go to the show notes. You can see what's in the description, the links and all that kind of stuff. It's really cool. We've also got 3 other podcasts on there. One's for Nintendo, one's for Xbox, and one's for PlayStation. PlayStation Update, Xbox Update, and Nintendo Update. So if you're interested at all in the news that's happening in those 3 systems, definitely check those out. We've got a lot planned. We want to do a lot more podcasts on video games, so definitely check that out. I'm really proud of what the website looks like. Designed that all myself, so go check it out. ragestart.com.
Anyway, with these sponsors out of the way, the Sage Goodwin podcast is sponsored by Sage Goodwin.
If you can't get sponsors, sponsor yourself. That's how it works.
But it pays well, too.
Yes. Every money you put into sponsors goes straight back to you.
You get 100% profit. You don't have to split it with anyone. We're just cutting out the middleman. We just go ahead and straight sponsor our own stuff.
But now let's get into main topic of this episode, our predictions for EA Play. It's in the game. On Twitter, Cedric, friend of the podcast, at CedricSW, I tweeted, for the solo season, I hope we get new skins for the heroes and villains we know to be in the movie, especially a certain someone, so they can add new characters and still capture the solo feel. I'd really like to see a Muddy Chewie skin. Still stand by that. I'd love to see a Chewie skin that he's just soaked and covered in mud, doesn't even look like Chewbacca. Responding to that, Cedric said, I'm hoping that's a given. What are your expectations for EA Play announcement? Not just for Han Solo Part 2, but for the future of the game. Thank you, Cedric, for giving us this topic. EA Play is right around the corner as we're recording it June 2nd. 7 days, 1 week. EA Play begins. Starts the 9th and goes on to the 11th. So let's talk about what we want to see from EA Play.
Yeah, so last EA Play we did attend.
Yes.
And it really just kickstarted Battlefront, got the pre-alpha, let some people get their hands and play that. So besides the Han Solo next wave, what could we see? What are your predictions, Sage?
You have none. Is that what you're saying, Sam? You have none.
Maybe we'll get the next wave, and this probably won't happen, but they might announce the next, or just how they're going to package up all the seasons. Maybe they give us some information on what's new in the seasons, if we're going to see kind of a continuation of this, or maybe they'll announce some prequel stuff. We'll see.
My expectations
are low
for EA Play. I didn't say that. My expectations for EA Play is the bare minimum, just part 2 of the solo season. That's all I'm expecting. Now, what I want is something completely different. I want them to fully announce the solo season, which I believe they will do. What's going to come, what's going to be included, and then the launch date. If not, just saying, hey, it's available now at EA Play. What I also want to see is a game plan for the future of the game. Like, what's the future of the game going to be? This will kickstart what I'm calling Phase 2 of Battlefront 2.
My prediction is that they're going to release Battlefront 3. Let's start this over.
That's the subtitle?
Yep. Battlefront 3. Let's start this over.
I've got a bad feeling about this.
Hey, this game was called I've Got a Bad Feeling About This. This one is A New Hope. Star Wars Battlefront 3, A New Hope.
Don't tell me the odds.
That works too. The predictions are bare minimum. I'm expecting, and they're probably just going to release either a gameplay trailer, because that's what they did for EA Plays, that like the day before they had like gameplay trailers with the live streamers and the creators, and then the next day you could play the game. So maybe we'll see the beginning of EA Play, a gameplay trailer for the next wave of Han Solo season.
Well, I definitely expect that.
And then that day you can play it.
Yeah, so last year we paid out of pocket, drove all the way to California, and went to EA Play. This year we won't be able to do that unless EA flies us out.
Which is kind of too late now.
Maybe.
I think.
Hopefully. I know Star Wars Game Outpost writer Jared Bilby, he got flown out like right at the last second, like 2 days before he was going to fly there. Like, oh, hey, you want to come to EA Play? Who knows? EA's got this blind spot for podcasts for some reason, which is ridiculous because PlayStation has an official podcast. Sea of Thieves has an official podcast. Like, podcasts aren't something new for video games. We've almost got 150,000 downloads. Who knows? Hopefully. I doubt it, though. But we'll be covering the event from here. We'll be able to give our thoughts on what's shown, break down what's shown. And afterwards, I want to get Elliot on the podcast. I want to get some of the other creators. I want to get Reva Timms as a true.
Do you think we can see anything other than just the Han Solo details from EA Play concerning Star Wars Battlefront?
I think in interviews we're going to get teases on what's next.
Yeah, maybe we'll just get like somewhat of a roadmap there.
I think most interviews are going to be like this. Okay, so Han Solo season's here. What are your thoughts? And then they give their spiel, and then they're like, "What's next for Battlefront 2?" And then they're like, "Well, we want to focus really on Han Solo season right now, but we have big plans. We've been listening to fan feedback, and we're definitely going to do something big." I think that's how interviews are going to be going. I'd love to see bigger teases, though. My hopes aren't huge for anything other. I would love to see a roadmap. I doubt that they'll do that. For some reason, with Battlefront games, they are really tight-lipped about the future and what's coming next. So we'll see. But for Solo, what are your expectations for what they show for Solo?
Hopefully, we'll see a hero and a villain. After watching the Han Solo movie, there's not really a villain, to be honest. Like a standout, not to spoil anything, but it's going to be interesting how they do that. If they're actually going to do a hero and villain, because Han Solo, Lando, and Chewbacca are already in the game.
Yes. I definitely think they're going to be skins. We've got leaks saying, giving confirmation of that fact, that they're going to be legendary skins for Han and Lando. Lando having two, where one's going to be his yellow shirt, one's going to be his colorful shirt. That's at the end of the movie. One for Han is going to be his leather jacket, his brown leather jacket, and then the other will be a gray leather jacket with the new face animations for Donald Glover and
Nice.
Alden Ehrenreich. Those are the leaks, and I subscribe to that leak. I think that's very likely. I think the first thing, if I was going to make a Han Solo season based on the Solo movie, the first thing I'd do is we're going to bring skins. Hands down, the first thing. That's what I would be.
Hands down.
Hands down.
Yeah. I mean, hopefully we'll get a Chewbacca skin, a couple of them. Just like the muddy one is kind of the only thing that could be worked in there.
One of the leaks for Chewbacca is him with the goggles from the train fight.
Yeah.
That's not a spoiler because it's in the trailer.
I just hope that these like minor skin changes aren't like outrageous in the credits, because like Chewbacca with goggles on, if it's like 80,000 credits, it's gonna be kind of hard to justify that.
I think that skin in particular would be more like a lower tier skin. I definitely think the Han and Lando skins will be legendary though.
Yeah.
With new voices for them and new content that way.
Yeah, and also with the maps, maybe they're gonna add a couple of maps, because that's what they do every season. So
we definitely know we'll be getting a new world, a new planet.
Yeah, we don't know exactly which world it is from the movie, but probably that snow world. You think so?
I would rather have Corellia personally. I think the snow one we already have Hoth and Starkiller Base.
But we don't need that other Tatooine in that movie. Well, the forge that was close to the... Yeah, just another freaking Tatooine and Hoth in a Star Wars movie. What? Let's see.
Do you hate sand, Sam?
I don't like sand. It's coarse and rough and irritating, and it gets everywhere.
The Force Awakens starts on Tatooine, essentially.
It's
and
Jakku.
Star Killer Base is basically Hoth. We move on to The Last Jedi. Freaking Crate looks like Hoth.
Mixed with Tatooine.
Yeah, so it's basically a 2-for-1. It's if Hoth and Tatooine had a baby, we got Crate. So far, Rogue One had freaking Scarif that was Tatooine.
More sand.
Did it have a snowy planet, though? Probably did.
No, it didn't.
It didn't?
No.
Well, sand and snow, man. Sand and snow. Interchangeable. Yeah, well, so far, I just hope...
worst nightmare.
I just hope they don't add any more snowy or sandy planets.
I'd really like the mud planet.
Just Corellia, yeah, that would be cool. Corellia just seems like... I guess they've had the time to work on it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like it's basically Coruscant as a map.
Exactly.
It just has cities
and
landscapes.
Who doesn't want Coruscant as a planet? Yeah,
either Corellia or that Imperial world that they were fighting on.
My review, spoiler-free review of the Han Solo movie, it felt to me like Battlefront. Like, for some reason, the way it was portrayed in the warfare, it felt more like Battlefront to me than Rogue One did.
It was very gritty in some scenes.
Especially the planet where they're in the mud. Like the gameplay and the combat for that, perfect correlation to Battlefront.
Yeah, so we'll see on the heroes. We already know that the skins are coming. That doesn't mean that they're not going to add heroes. But it kind of is, since they're kind of changing the facial expressions like to match the actor.
Another leak is another Millennium Falcon for Starfighter Assault.
But who plays that?
Well, I tried to jump in today, and apparently no one.
Exactly.
I tried to get it in 3 games, and no one was playing. One of the leaks that I saw, this person, we don't know, they don't really have any reputation with leaks. They don't really have much of a history with leaks, though they say they know someone on the inside. They said that a Starfighter Assault Hero Showdown is one of the game modes, or is the game mode that will be coming to the Han Solo season.
The game mode? Like no other game modes?
I hope not, because I don't think that's good enough.
Honestly, if that is going to be the case, it should have been in this little wave here.
Mm-hmm.
Add one to heroes, like real ground battle, and then the space battle. Because, I mean, it kind of sounds cool.
Yeah, it would be cool, but I don't see how it correlates to Solo.
Yeah, there's not actually many space battles in that movie. Like, really none at all.
One, but it's not really in space.
We need a game mode that links with the movie. We had Crate with the First Order storming the hold. That makes sense within the movie. So we need something that ties into the movie somehow.
And I don't see Hero Showdown, so I don't think that is the only game mode.
Maybe that just turns out to be a limited time only game mode.
Or maybe next month, once that month comes out and they have content that they want to bring. So definitely, I think that's interesting. I hope that they bring new heroes. I think there is the one quote unquote villain in Solo I think would be cool. I think his gameplay would be nice.
But then you go on to the hero, and the main protagonist in that movie already in the game.
Well, there's Kira. She's pretty good. There's L3. We could finally have a droid.
That would be interesting. But I don't want to spoil anything. I'm really being tempted to. I just don't see them being a possibility.
There is Woody Harrelson's character. I could see him being added.
He's basically just like an old Han Solo, though.
But he's got 2 guns.
Oh.
We don't have any heroes with 2 guns.
That is a good point. That would actually be an interesting system in the game to have dual wielding. I mean, apart from this next wave of Solo being announced EA Play, I don't see anything coming really.
Outside of Solo, you don't see anything coming.
No.
Same here. I don't expect it to be a huge event for anything other than Solo. I think they want to highlight on Solo
just
right
because
now.
of the timing of this. It feels like after Solo, all of Solo seasons were released, then we could get some more information about, coming up seasons. But because it's so situated to where the Solo season has to come out, don't really see anything else being announced.
And on the timing of Phase 2 of the Han Solo season, one of our followers, Talha Malik at TalhaMalik_01, actually reached out to Ben Walk and asked, could we expect Season 2, Part 2 announcement early or mid-June? And he said early, which confirms that they've said it will be around EA Play, which basically means EA Play. Now, as for the release of it, I think we're looking at a mid-June.
Yeah, maybe just get some early access at EA Play, kind of flesh it out, fix it afterwards, and then have it release, mid-June, as you say.
I think that makes sense. I don't think we should expect huge things other than Solo, but it's going to be an interesting thing because it seems like they're highlighting EA Play as the Anthem and Battlefield event, because those are the games that they're most promoting on their website, and those are the things that they're most promoting on what's going to be at EA Play. They haven't officially said anything through the EA Play Twitter or the website that Star Wars Battlefront content will be featured there, though Ben Walk has said there's Star Wars content coming to EA Play. Now let's get on to the thoughts on the hotfix for Battlefront 2. If you didn't know, they released a hotfix for Battlefront 2, trying to fix some of the issues that they had before an actual full update. They lowered pre-round timer on all game modes from 60 seconds to 45 seconds, and Hero Showdown has been reduced to 20 seconds. So, like a lot of people and like we were complaining about, it was just too long, so they have updated that and fixed the length on the game mode timer. They fixed the rank 50 trophy / achievement, and they quote unquote fixed a bug with Palpatine where he could kill players inside the AT-AT. A lot of people are having issues with this change, which is why I said quotes on that fixed. A lot of people are reporting that Palpatine is very weak or underpowered against certain heroes. I haven't really seen that. I took down both Luke and Yoda as Palpatine in Hero Showdown by myself, so I think they just mixed around his abilities and his playstyle.
Yeah, because he's kind of like the Yoda of the villains, kind of a support hero, so he really shouldn't be played that aggressively.
Yeah. They also fixed some bugs with Leia Organa's Boosh outfit. Not triggering the right emotes or the voice of the emotes, so it wouldn't be that scrambled Boosh language. Boosh. They also lowered the enemies defeated requirements for weekly challenges from 10 to 5, and just some other things. A lot of people have been having issues with this particular hotfix. Matt Johnson at Malcontent Matt says this: what fix? They broke more than they actually fixed. For certain people, that is the case. Stejak at Stejak123.
So it's more like a hot break.
Well, it fixed certain things and then broke other things, which is how coding works. You fix one bug and then 10 other take its place.
So it's basically Hydra.
Yes, bugs are Hydra. So Stejak says, it's good to see them trying to put out regular fixes. They just need to test them before releasing.
Do or do not, there is no try. Come on, EA Play, you should know this. Not EA Play, I mean EA.
Diego82 Reyes. Haven't tried it out yet, but the Palpatine versus AT-AT thing is dumb. He's a Sith Lord. He should be able to kill anyone in any vehicle, along with all Force users. So yeah, a lot of people are having issues with...
Yeah, I think, they should have kept it as is, because it's like a metal contraption and he has lightning. So, and plus the AT-AT is already overpowered, so they need some kind of formula to defeat them easily.
Well, Palpatine's on the Imperial side, and the Imperials are the only one that can get into the AT-ATs, so...
He's killing his own teammates?
Yes.
Does it not work on the other all-terrain vehicles?
What is it?
Like, the Rebels have somewhat similar vehicles to the Imperials.
Yeah, it works on all the vehicles, but also works on players inside of the AT-AT,
But
whether or not you're on the same team.
But you guys need to learn how to aim.
What?
You gotta aim as lightning. Don't shoot your own teammates, guys. Okay, guys, I really don't know how this works because I haven't experienced that.
Yeah, because we've been playing Hero Showdown 24/7.
Yeah, I don't really play Galactic Assault anymore. It's basically just Hero Showdown.
Yep. Battlefront 2 has become Hero Showdown for me. I'd also like to redact all statements I said before in the last episode on Hero Showdown because I actually played with good people. I played in a party.
People.
You shouldn't play Hero Showdown with randos. It works out sometimes.
Sometimes you make a lifelong friend.
Yes, I made a lifelong friend last night. We were wrecking, but most of the time it works so much better if you actually have a way to communicate. So I love Hero Showdown now. I still think it needs to be worked on, but especially on the villains. The villains just aren't as fun as the heroes to play.
Yes.
They also supposedly fixed the bug with the data, with your data being deleted or missing. Now, not everyone is getting this fixed. LH_plays had lost 14,000 credits due to that bug. Most of the bugs have been fixed, while a lot of other bugs have been introduced.
Well, that's how it works. There's a kind of redundancy to fixing things because honestly, you fix things, other things break. Sometimes those broken things are worse than the things that you fixed.
Like Stejak said, it's good that they are working to fix things. They are working to be more consistent and be more active on fixing these certain things. I just think because they were so fast, they mixed a lot of things that those particular fixes changed. So I think it's good either way. If they keep it up and they learn from this incident, I think it's going to be good. I just really hope the communication also continues to be good after EA Play, after they've announced the solo things, and especially once solo gets announced, once a possible trailer gets shown, people are going to have a lot of questions. So I hope that the communication stays up and that they use the EA Star Wars more and they use the menu little tiles for announcements. I'd love to see that. Embed the trailer onto one of the tiles. So say, hey, phase 2 of the solo season is coming so-and-so. Here's the trailer, or here's the details that are coming, or here is Battlefront Updates video on what's coming, like they did at launch. Star Wars HQ's video were shown there, Battlefront Updates. I think Azatru's were, there were a lot of creators shown there. Again, podcasts were absent. Podcasts are one of the fastest growing entertainment content. Please, EA, people at EA, listen to the words, listen to my voice. Please promote us.
You just lost your voice. They don't want to hear it anymore.
I'm just joking. Please take notice of podcasts and
I don't think your ASMR technique is going to work for them.
It's so soothing though. Please, EA, listen. That's all for this episode of the Star Wars Battlefront podcast. If you have thoughts on what we said, on what do you think is going to be shown at EA Play? What are your hopes and dreams for EA Play? Email us or reach out on Twitter at SWB Podcast. Our email is
battlefrontpodcast@gmail.com.
You can follow us on our Twitter, which is a great place. Any news that pops up about Battlefront, I am quick to tweet about it. I'm quick to let you know. So definitely give us a follow if you are interested on staying up to date. As the news happens, we will also cover it on the podcast. You can support us on Patreon, patreon.com/battlefrontpodcast, or you can also support us on PayPal, paypal.me/tie-dye-sheep, TYEDYESHEEP. Again, our podcast network is RageStart, ragestart.com. Definitely check it out. Let us know what you think. If you enjoy the podcast, go check it out. Let us know what the website and if we can change anything, because we are always looking to be the best that we can. There's always things that we can improve. Leaving us a review is another great way to support us. We got 2 new great reviews, really great. Some new listeners, some old listeners. If you like the podcast, let us know. It is great. It helps us improve. It helps other listeners to find us and see other listeners who enjoy the podcast. It also helps iTunes to promote us a little more, so that's always helpful.
Our YouTube channel is youtube.com/The Star Wars Battlefront Podcast.
You can listen to the show on iTunes, SoundCloud, Stitcher, Google Play, or anywhere you find podcasts. As always,
Thanks for listening.
may the Force be with you. I want to be a pilot, the best in the galaxy.
Sponsoring yourself is a win-win. First, you don't have to make any contracts because it's all with yourself. Plus, you're getting 100% advertisement for yourself, and you don't have to pay anyone.
Yep.
It's just like the way to go. I don't see why more podcasts aren't sponsoring themselves.
This episode of the Star Wars Battlefront Podcast is brought to you by the Star Wars Battlefront Podcast.
Covering Star Wars Battlefront since the beginning of time.
Yes. 139 episodes.
139 years because we make a podcast episode a year.
We're very old.
So are you guys listening?
Yes. Those who've stuck with us from the beginning, you're
Old.
well over 139 years old now, according to Sam Years.
Yeah.
Sam time. A year doesn't pass until a podcast comes out.
Exactly.